I think you all know. If you did know, I will now tell you. So I'm trying to use that vehicle for our private sector like you to be able to go with bankable projects to Chinese financial institutions. And there is appetite to do business in Zimbabwe on the basis of a very concrete political friendship that exists between our two governments and our two countries, which goes back many years to the days of the liberation struggle. So we wanted to exploit that friendship commercially. And I would want basically to see that happen. And already the Sino-Shua people are going to visit me next week, basically to follow up that discussion so that we can get to a point where if a private sector company wants access to funds there, he can basically do so. So those are some of the initiatives that we signed a framework agreement to bring that about. And I'm very hopeful of the results and the commitment made. I also signed an agreement with China Exim Bank, more or less along the same lines, but basically to be able to access with respect to bankable projects. Let's distinguish between bankable projects and viable projects. Dualization of roads, basically you are looking at an economic return. The ripple effect that project will have on the generality of the economy. So it's very important that we do that. There were also other agreements, exchange of letters. Theirs has not been interrupted for that many years. So they are very civilized people. They have a good work ethic. They have one of the largest populations, it's not the largest populations. In 78, they were about 120 in terms of size of their economy worldwide. Now they are number 2. And they are basically ready to take over as number 1 in 5-6 years' time. Now, when you are faced with that situation, anyone who ignores this emerging economic power is not in this world. So I want to ask you, how many of you have been to China? Can you please raise your hands? It's a fairly representative. It does demonstrate that you are sensitive to the global developments, the global currents. I would have been very disappointed, basically, for business people who would not be aware that China is an emerging economic power. You know, just reinforcing what Ambassador Lin Lin said, these statements about what we are doing with China is pie in the sky, again, does not bear relationship to the reality on our ground. And the reality is, like I've mentioned, Kariba South, is that a pie in the sky? Victoria Falls Airport, 150 million, which is taking place there and to be completed, I believe, by next year. 150 million, is that a pie in the sky? 140 million, all these are through China Exim Bank. Through China Exim Bank. 140 million towards the rehabilitation of our water and sanitation in Harare. And you have got reporters say, no, that is a pie in the sky. No, I think let's go for these pies in the skies. Please. So let's basically, in my view, you know, what I expect from, especially from business reporters, I expect constructive engagement. And you know, I've operated since I was appointed an open door policy to a point where I didn't know this young man sitting to my left. He has had quite some input into how we are clarifying the indigenization law. I'm now clearer thanks to him because of his opportunities. I didn't know before him, but he availed himself. I opened my mind to his ideas, and we are basically to a point now where basically we should be able to sort out and clarify the issue of indigenization. So let's not be abusive of each other. If you have any serious comments or advice, write it, and you consider it as a team of people I've employed to look into each every suggestion that is made. But when you abuse, you are just dispiriting, and I think is what Ambiwangu Shima was referring to, just discouraging information which does not do good to the person saying it or to the country. You know, everybody who has visited Zimbabwe has very good comments about Zimbabwe. We are considered, you don't agree, I know. We are considered a very friendly, warm people. We are considered very literate people. We have a good climate. Now, what would Zimbabweans do when they are told by foreigners, you have a good climate? No. The people are good. No, they are very violent. No. That is the sort of mindset I think we ought to move away from. I want basically, I hope that those hands which were raised for visit to China were not just for shopping. If they were shopping, I hope it was for shopping machinery and equipment. But I wanted to encourage building relationships between you and Chinese business people. You find them very warm people, warmer than us. So I would want you to please encourage you to that effect. Comrade Katsande, thank you very much on a learning visit to learn the development path of China, because they keep telling us, you are where we were 30 years ago, you can do it. That is the message we get from China. You can do it, and you don't need anyone. You can do it, and you have the potential to do it. Believe in yourselves. And true, we can do it. I don't know about you, what you think. We can do it, and what I learned from the Chinese, basically, is that they are a very efficient people and ruthless in achieving goals. I mean ruthless. Whether in terms of stamping out corruption, whether in removing any dead wood in management, they are very ruthless. And as a result, their parastatals are among the top 500 Fortune companies worldwide. And they are parastatals. In their next reforms, they would want to evolve more to the private sector. But essentially, China's economy is a state economy, state capitalism. And it's efficiently run. I learned that. When we compare to ours, it was very clear that when we come to parastatal reform, we have not yet scratched the surface. We have yet to do more. If we can have the ruthlessness that the Chinese have,